Moocha, the Friendly Alpaca by G's Flavor House. Moocha the alpaca lived in a wildly peaceful valley. In the valley, the hills rolled like soft blankets and wildflowers dotted the land in every season. His wool was warm white color, and his eyes held a kindness that made others feel safe. Everyone agreed that one thing Moocha was too friendly. Moocha greeted each morning by lifting his face toward the sky and whispering a prayer of thanks. He thanked the Lord for another day to love others, for the breath in his lungs, and for the chance to do good. Then he stepped out into the valley, ready to help others wherever help was needed. He helped the ducks rebuild their pond after a storm. He listened as the elder tortoise told stories that wandered and circled back on themselves. He carried apples for the pigs and never once complained when they forgot to return the basket. Mucha believed every act of kindness mattered, even the ones no one noticed. Sometimes the other animals joked that Mucha was must have been born waving, but kindness when given without wisdom can be misunderstood. One afternoon, a llama named Brisk arrived dragging heavy crates behind him. His voice was sharp, his movements rushed, and his eyes always seemed to be searching for the next thing he wanted to do. Mucha noticed right away and trotted over. Welcome to the valley, Mucha said brightly. Can I help you? Brisk looked Mucha up and down. You look strong enough. You're blind. He handed Mucha the heaviest load without a second thought. Mucha smiled and carried it gladly. At first, Mucha didn't notice the pattern. Brisk asked for help once, then twice, then all day. Soon it became expected. Brisk no longer asked, he demanded. Mucha still helped, even when his legs trembled and his lunch sat untouched. The valley watched. He's using him, muttered the sheep. He should say something, said the goats. Kindness doesn't mean silence, warned the owl. But Mochi kept going, still smiling, still helping, still praying quietly at night when the exhaustion crept into his bones. One evening, Moocha sat alone beneath the oak tree where he usually felt most peaceful. That night, even the stars seemed distant. His heart was full of questions. Lord, he whispered, am I loving the others the way you want me to, or am I forgetting to care for the life you gave me? He remembered the commandment that he had learned as a young alpaca. Love one another, be patient, be kind, treat others the way you want to be treated. But there was more to those teachings than he had realized. Love wasn't meant to be suffering in silence. The next day, Mucha tried something new. When Brisk demanded help before sunrise, Mucha looked at him kindly but did not move right away. I can help, Mucha said gently, but I also need to care for the body and heart God gave me. I will help after I rest. Mucha laughed at first. You're still helping, he said. Good. But Mucha noticed something important. His voice had been calm, honest, and loving. He hadn't yelled. He hadn't retaliated. He had spoken the truth. Over the next few days, Mucha continued this way. He helped with joy but stopped giving more than he could. He still greeted Brisk with kindness, still prayed for him at night, still treated him the way he hoped to be treated. Brisk didn't know what to do with that. No anger, no revenge, just steady goodness. One afternoon, Brisk tripped and spilled his supplies. The other animals hesitated. Mucha stepped forward and helped him and gathered everything without any complaint. Brisk finally asked, why are you like this? Mucha smiled softly, because the Lord teaches me that love changes hearts, and I want my heart to stay gentle. That night, Brisk lay awake thinking. The next morning, something surprising happened. Brisk offered to carry Mucha's load. He said thank you and even apologized, though his voice shook when he did. From that moment on, Brisk began to change. He helped others and listened when someone was giving him advice. He learned that strength came from knowing when you need to be kind. The valley noticed again, but this time with joy. Mucha never stopped being friendly. He simply learned that kindness, guided by faith, was even stronger than kindness alone. And whenever young animals asked him how to live, Moocha would say, "Follow the Lord's commandments, love others the way you want to be loved, and remember kindness can change the world." The end.